Hello and welcome to Life Coaching by Mike Zinn. Today's YouTube post is entitled, Are You Still Working? Tales from the Other Side. Maybe it's because of my increasingly gray sideburns, or people must assume that I must be at the age of retirement or very close. But the question always comes up, are you still working? That question is usually asked by people who have retired or are getting ready to retire. Occasionally, it comes from somebody in the younger generation. For me, the gold watch, the tasteless sheet cake, the pat on the back are not part of my master plan. They're not part of my exit plan either. I decided long ago that I would not be sitting on a bar stool at age 65 talking to anybody who would listen about what I could have done or what I could have been. What my goals were, or in some cases, not having goals at all. For me, going into retirement and sitting in front of Fox News for 8 hours a day is not part of my master plan. I tend to want to end my life spent. No regrets, memories aplenty. I guess I want it all. I want to be a loving, supportive husband to my wonderful wife. I want to be a good son and grandfather to my 4 sons and 7 grandchildren. I want to be a good son to my 97-year-old mom. I guess you could look at it and say, are you overconfident? No, I don't think so. Is it boastful to think that way? No, definitely not. I do have a retirement plan. It's just going to be a little bit different than the traditional plan. I want to be able to enter a third act in my life. But how do you do that? To do that and understand the third act, you have to ask 4 questions. What, when, how, and why? What? The third act is basically that time when most people traditionally start to retire and think of what they're going to do after they stop working. Every morning is Saturday morning, every afternoon is Friday afternoon. That's the traditional plan. A 2019 report showed that over 255 people in the US, 85 years or old, were still working. Some of them had to work, for sure, but others, they could be truck drivers, farmers, crossing guards, are still working. But the biggest group of kind of the new older generation workers are CEOs of major corporations and entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs being the most highest in number group of people who are still working and thus having a third act. These people are from diverse backgrounds who are taking on exciting endeavors. They're going to satisfy their creative itch and keep a steady income stream going for many years. The next question is when. I believe it's never too early to start planning for your third act. But many wait until their actual retirement age to begin that process, which is fine. Once child rearing duties are in the rearview mirror is a logical time for people to start thinking about their third act. Begin to research, experiment, and dabble in your passions. It is better to be prepared than not when your third act comes about. How? In no time in history are there so many resources to offer us that are low cost or no cost at all. Think of podcasts, blogs, workshops. All of those can be used as experiments for you to prepare for your third act. And the last is why. The question is maybe not why, but why not? Go back to one of my earlier statements. Don't be 65 years old, reminiscing about your days that could have been sitting on a bar stool. It's time to execute your third act. Realize your dreams, create long-term wealth, be a role model to your families, and finish your life fully spent. Thank you, and listen in next time to Life Coaching by Mike Zinn.